It's a village that's dying, really.
It's just run down, it's just the Bronx.
It's more like a prison, everything's boarded up.
Yeah, I do actually, yeah. It's funny you should say that, to be quite frank, yeah, definitely.
It's a bit strange.
It is very, very, very strange, because it's like an old Western movie, just waiting for the ball of hair to roll down the street, you know.
Nobody seems to know what to do with so many empty homes. The bulk are owned by Accent, a housing. The council said no.
Well, Amy and I decided to go and look, see if we could find any more information, like expecting to see hundreds of pictures. But all we could find was this by the Daily Mail. And it was actually dated the 5th of March. Oh, 2015! So it's the same time then, Amy. Yeah. So they're saying the same thing, but that's the Daily Mail and Channel 4 News reporting that this place has a lack of everything, except when you get there, it's actually only the Daily Mail and the Channel 4 talking about it. Did you find any pictures, Amy? Because I didn't.
No, not really. Just
in fact,
pictures.
It's like, what is it called again? What's the village called? Horden. It's like Horden has been wiped off the face of the earth, except for these two.
Right, exactly. They're just showing 12th Street. Some of the houses on 12th Street.
And what was your thoughts behind it, Amy?
Well, I'm reading about it, and it says that they're just 2 miles away from the beautiful northeast coastline, and it's talking about how they have such a beautiful beach there and active nightlife, entertainment. They said it boasts
We're crying out for accommodation.
Yeah, it says it's got Horden boasts quite a nightlife and has several clubs which bring people in from nearby villages and all these attractions. So I'm thinking, my theory is that they don't want to put up that little bit of money for the housing, so they can probably tear it down and build some kind of hotels or motels.
They could put families in there that's got a child that just need 2 bedrooms.
Exactly. And I think what it is they just, instead of wanting it to be a town for people just to live in, I would think they wanted...
And they call it a village, don't they, Amy? A village. It's not a village.
I know, they're calling it a village.
There you go. It's got Blackhall Villages. This is the size of a town. It's huge.
Yeah.
and it probably has been affected if the mines have closed down, because a lot of people did have jobs, but you know, they can relocate and do other things in other places. But you know, if you wanted a quieter life where you're kind of maybe you could go up there. It's got a beautiful beach 2 miles away, isn't it?
Exactly. But I think they just want to build it up as a tourist attraction, and that's just my feeling about it.
Suddenly, millions of unemployed people head it over to Horden. Anyway, Amy, anything else you want to say?
Oh, that's all. It is sad, though, to see all these homes that could be used for people that need housing. So it is sad.
Rows and rows of them.
Yes, it's horrible.
Anyway, thanks for that, Amy, my darling.
Karen.
Amy's still with me. What do you make of this, Amy? Like, there is all this lack of accommodation, yet the council wouldn't buy all these houses for £1. Bet you there's something else going on here. Like, they obviously want the land to put other stuff on. That's what it is. Well, people are still living there, and they're just hoping people will move out. Whereabouts is this place, Amy?
It's in northeast England, I believe. I was just reading.
Yeah.
It said it's in County Durham, England, on the North Sea coast to the east of Peterlee, approximately 12 miles south of Sunderland. And it was a mining village until the closure of the Horden colliery in 1987.
Amy and I decided to go and have a look at the prices of some of these houses, and some of them are being rented and some of them are being bought. But that one there is on the market, a 3-bedroomed end terrace, or it says terrace, for 50 odd thousand. Okay, that one says 5,000, but most of them are 45, 32, something like that. I was expecting them to be £1.
Right.
And this one was bid on, right? And it started off at 19,000 and it went up to 32,000, and the bidder won it on the 14th of January this year for 32,000, but it was on the books at 19,000. So considering there's no money and this place is a ghetto, how come it took him up to 32,000 then? It's obviously a bit... They're lying, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah, right. If they couldn't, the council couldn't buy it for £1, and now they're gonna. But you can.
Obviously, the council owns some of them, and people own the others. There is a difference, but you know, the council didn't even want to buy them for £1, and yet they're trying.
Right.
There you go. These are renting, so 435, 300, 550, 400, 425. Yeah, that's not cheap rent.
No, it's not.
It's about if it's $2 to the pound, then that would be $900. But there's only 2-bedroom houses, and we're talking terraced, so you don't have a front garden. It goes straight onto the road.
Right.
There's some more there. 35,000, 34,000. One there was. Let's go back a minute. That was 80 odd. That one. Let's have a look. Sorry, we've just gone back a bit. I always put it back there. Where was it? There you go. A house for sale. Oh, might be a different terrace. But those, I put it in for Horden. See, it's got Horden on there. And they're going for 40 odd thousand. For somewhere that's desolate and the council won't buy the properties for £1, I don't think it's that bad. Do you, Amy?
No way. I know.
Because obviously the further away you get from London, the cheaper the houses become. But they want, for a place that's basically had it, they want 50 odd thousand, 45, 50,000 for the houses.
Yes.
We're talking little houses. You can see how small they are.
Right.
What do you make of that then, Amy?
Oh, I don't know what to make of it. I guess just something to do with money and just.
We had to be precise, didn't we, about putting in where we were going, because we said in the other bit of the video that we couldn't find anybody talking about Horden. But when you actually put the addresses in, like the street in, it brings you up rentals. But there's no people making lots of pictures like, oh, we're happy here, or any, like, I didn't find that.
Right. And I mean, when you see some of the pictures, some of the places, I mean, they look kind of nice. They don't look horrible or anything. No. So I think that it was wrong for the council to say that they couldn't, it wouldn't be worth it to buy the houses for £1 because it'd be too expensive to fix them up. I think that was rubbish on the part of the council. And I don't know why they did that, really. I can't say, but it just seems like rubbish to me.
Well, the only people there's these people renting the houses out with the rental being, they don't look cheap to me. And then you've got 2 newspapers reporting that it's a dive and that the council won't even buy the houses for £1.
Yes.
Obviously, it was a different twist they wanted on the story, isn't it, Amy?
It was a different twist.
Anyway, we're coming up to the end of this video. Got anything else to say, Amy?
Unless they just didn't want people coming there, so they tried to make it sound like a horrible place or something that you wouldn't want to live in. And then,
I mean, you know, I reckon that some of, you know, it did remind me a little bit of that town up in Russia, where they're saying that most of it's derelict, but there was still loads of people on the roads and in the streets. Like, well, how big was this place then? They do call this a village when it looks the size of a town, to be honest.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Anything else to say, Amy?
I think maybe they were just trying to discourage people from going to live there. I'm not sure what they had up there, what their trick was, but something wasn't right about the whole thing, that's for sure. No.
Anyway, thank you so much for that, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen.
On my map here, it's got Newcastle, and then below it's got Hartlepool and Middlesbrough. It's on the right hand side, so the Doggerland side, and in between Newcastle and Hartlepool is this place. But don't think it's really strange that the council didn't want to buy them for £1 because they said they'd be too expensive to maintain. Most of the houses are boarded up and look from the outside in good condition. Yeah, so there is rubbish and broken windows, and this was 2015. But don't think it's really incredible. There is the accommodation. I mean, you know, if you want to live up north, then where does it matter where you live there? Most people have got cars. I just find this whole thing strange. And I also think that when we're looking at these people, you know, sometimes it just looks like they're on green screens. So you just don't know if they've made this news up to make it look really bad when it's not happening like they say.
That's right. You don't know,
No, and maybe the people are real and they gave what they thought was a good account of what's happening to them, but by the time the news finishes they put their twist on it and it just sounds different.
Exactly.
Like, this is one way of doing it, right? I don't follow this person much anymore, but it's Richard D. Hall, and he was talking about being invited to do videos. At the beginning he was all excited and he'd go in, and then what they did was anything he said, they switched things round and made him sound like he was saying things that he wasn't. And so that's why whenever there's a video made about him, I mean not ones we copy, but ones made about him, he'll go, I'd like editorial covering on that please, because then he can notice whether his words have been changed, put in the wrong context, and they can actually make you an idiot out of it. They can make you look an absolute idiot. So what I'm trying to say is that they could have done all this to this place here, but who knows? But it just came up in my feed and you think, we're dying for accommodation, and they won't put anybody in these houses.
Yes. Oh, I know what you mean. Well,
what is the truth? What is the truth? Do we ever know anything anymore? We've thrust these things all over our screens. So this was 2015, so it is a little bit ago, but it just came into my feed today and I thought, we're dying for accommodation.
Well, it's the same here in Baltimore, where I live, Baltimore, Maryland, because we have homeless people, and we got all these buildings in the city, and the hospital has bought them up. I won't name the hospital, but it's a familiar university that's been responsible for a lot of what we're seeing in the world today. But they bought up all those houses. They don't do anything with them. And meanwhile, there's all these homeless people who move in there, and they would not have snatched them up like that. But it's sort of a similar thing. It's not exactly the same.
Thing is, when I look at this video, Amy, I know that's terrible, and I know that you can't mention the name. It's probably better you don't. But when you're looking at these houses, yeah, I did see a few boarded up together. But when you're looking, it just looks like a very clean place, and they're saying it's terrible, and all the houses, no one's living in them. And when you look down the street, I mean, this one's not boarded up, this one's not boarded up, nor that one, nor that one, nor that one. None of those are. That one is. So I just don't know what they're doing here.
Right.
Anyway, we just thought we'd put the little video out. It's just a weird, the whole thing's weird, isn't it, Amy?
It is weird, Karen, yes. We just never know what they're up to.
Never, or what they're trying to tell us, you know, like giving us all these messages and telling us all this stuff. It just goes, for most people, in one and out the other, so they get away with it anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, thanks for your help, Amy.
You're welcome, Karen.
Yeah, me and Amy had to come back because what it was is that for some reason they didn't like this part of the video and said it was copyrighted and rah rah rah, and I just didn't want the money and the ads going to them because they were going to put ads on it. But basically what they're talking about is a lot of people don't live in this place because of the bedroom taxes. There's you know, for the extra bedroom, if you're a single person you're paying it, it's put a lot of people off, and the people have left. And then an army guy comes in who can't get accommodation, and he's looking for it, but he's given sheltered accommodation when all this accommodation is empty. What do you make of all that, Amy? It's bizarre.
Oh, it is bizarre, Karen. I know it doesn't make sense when people need this housing and they could get it, but now they're using the excuse of the bedroom tax so that they can't have the housing.
Yeah, because don't forget, this is a few years ago, so we've had the bedroom tax for a while. But, like, how could there be all these houses with no one living on them? They're reporting it, wanting to make masses of money off it, because I don't make any money. Oh, it's just I mean, even Channel 4, what's their part in all this?